anyways, right? You still have lower
Yeah, it's true,
lower levels.
and it definitely,
And the real thing is the reward for Infernal's not even
Exactly.
good though. It's really
yeah, and it
like,
still comes
but people still
back
get so
too.
riled up about not being
Yeah,
able to
it's
pass
just
it.
more for pride, really. And I mean, you get a
Yeah,
couple more feathers and you get an orb, but and an extra copy of the GHP unit. But it's not like anything crazy. So like, you shouldn't be
yeah,
frustrated if you can't beat Infernal because first of all, it's going to come back. It's not going anywhere, right?
yeah. That's the biggest thing. Like, I guess for the quests and stuff, like, granted those are easy, but like at least if you miss a quest, you miss a copy of the unit that doesn't come back. But with if you don't pass Infernal, you can still
Yeah, that's the
do it
thing.
the next
When the
time.
when the GHP first comes out, there's no quests anyways. You just have to
Yeah,
clear it. So then it gives you the until the next time it comes back, you can start thinking about and strategizing on how you want to beat it, right? Like you just take
yeah,
the Vulture map for instance. Like I would say 95% of the people who go in blind probably are not going to beat it because there's a lot of like new mechanics that are like happening and all
yeah.
these like
There's like no way
recruitments,
you're
right?
gonna win on the first
Yeah.
try, like unless you're like really prepared. But like even then, you have to like know what the units are gonna be, and unless you've seen the map beforehand, like good luck beating it on your very first try, going in completely blind, not knowing what units to bring.
So, like, I would
But
say to answer your actual question, I think it really just depends on the player. Like, just because you're a whale, just because you're an FTP, doesn't mean you're gonna just
yeah,
go in there and crush this new content just because you're a whale. At the end of the day, whale just means you have a few more resources and you have a couple more stats. That's not gonna make or break you winning that map
yeah. The real
realistically.
thing is the people who go through all the different types of strategies and think things through and come up with new unique ways to do the maps when maybe like, and it can help people who aren't as good and do just want to pass it, and like sometimes you don't have the free units to copy the people anyway, so you maybe you just have like Nino and three dancers but you don't know how to apply it, but there are ways to do it with those type of units,
Just
which is specific.
Just talking about this though,
Yeah.
I just kind of want to interject and say I miss MKV. Where is that guy?
Yeah.
I think we all miss
Yeah,
I
him.
I
don't think,
definitely
like,
miss it.
so would you say that the difficulty of the game is too high, too
I don't
low?
think it's too high, but I do think it's getting higher than it was.
But it should escalate. It should.
Yeah, it always will, because there's always going to be some sort of like power creep or just any type of like harder difficulties added to any game of this sort of format, like mobile games that are ongoing.
Yeah, it really. I mean,
Such.
it should escalate. I mean, that's time go by. When new skills are coming out, new
I
units are
feel
coming
like
out.
the way it's going is good. I don't want it to get to like some crazy point where you really have to have like +10 merges and full skill inheritance to beat things. It's not there yet. It's definitely not even close to there. But I just hope it doesn't get to that point, because at that point it really is only whales can beat it. But I think for now it's pretty good. Like there's plenty of people who can beat the maps. And you can just
To
see
the
that on
people
my
who
site.
were unable to beat, say, who was it? It was Camus. He's the one who had the horse emblem team, right? Was that his map? I can't remember.
I think there was
He had that red cav that could kill Reinhardt.
yeah.
You guys don't remember that? He had
I-
a red cav mage that could beat Reinhardt if Reinhardt attacked into him.
I mean,
No,
I probably baited him out of Lyndis, so I have no memory of it.
And that's another thing with the CYL that I didn't say before. They knew everyone was going to pick Lyn, right?
Yeah.
Like now that we have Lyn, how do they build GHB so that Lyn doesn't dominate? Like that she doesn't easy mode everything.
I honestly think the next GHB is the biggest example. Or actually, it's not a GHB, is it? No, it's the Black Knight's not.
I
GHB?
think it's easy. I don't
Probably
think it's for them. It's not that hard to mitigate new units because I mean you look at like Chain Challenge or like Tempest Trials. Like you see some of the stats on some of those units. They're absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, what is it? 70 HP Laszlo is. I'm still
Yeah,
throwing
there's
up.
that one like random red armored guy who has like 47 defense and like 84 HP. It's like
What is
How do you
that?
kill that without a mage with you? Like it's absolutely impossible, right? Like so, they're gonna pull things like that.
In Grand Hero battles, though, that's fine for like squad or not squad assault. That's well, it is. It's fine for like squad assault and chain challenge, but for the Grand Hero battle, can you do a wary fighter 40 defense, 80 HP
no,
armor?
but you can kind of see the trend that's happening right now is that a lot of the newer stuff is bringing in recruitment units, and even if you have a good Lyn, you have to realize that Lyn is still physically paper. So like if there's a lot of just units just pounding on her, there's nothing she can do, and she's gonna die, right?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. See, I think they're going to introduce. You know how Ike and Lyn have those skills that make it so it's basically panic during combat, so it's a good version of panic. I think we're going to get that soon. I think someone's going to be introduced with a skill that is basically just in combat bonuses are not turned to penalties, just are negated. Period. Nothing. No other text. Just that. I think that's going to be
less that. I think the next batch of skills that will probably come out is probably going to be counters to like sweep style skills. So whenever you can't counter, you can counter. Like that's definitely going to be coming out.
So like the opposite of Brash Assault.
No, not the opposite of Brash Assault. Like for instance, like right now.
Well, no, yeah,
like
you're right.
If you look at Fire Sweep
be the
or Wind
opposite
Sweep, like you can't counter back. Like there's going to be a skill where you're going to negate that and be able to counter back. Like that's coming for sure.
But just thinking about it, I mean, I know some units are amazing with Fire Sweep and things like that, but is there, like Fire Sweep Lance, for example, which is just a great weapon overall for a lot of Lance units who are fast enough and don't have a personal weapon of their own, or perhaps have a poorly designed personal weapon. Not designed, but, poor effect. But is that really going to be a good slot to... Like, let's just say it's on a B slot, for example. Is that worth it to replace... or whatever a B slot could be?
For certain units, absolutely. Like for instance, like you look at Lyn right now, she's basically negating all DC users right now, except like dragons, basically. So you think about like what can you do, like, and then you look at Hector. Hector generally has a B skill free. It's not mandatory to have anything in there. So if that skill comes out on a B slot, I am so for sure putting it on Hector so he can just bone her immediately that she hits him.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried.
Yeah, and there's like particularly range units like Reinhardt and like Bo Cordelia, like, and even Lyn, like they generally have a B skill free. They don't really absolutely need anything in there. It's nice to have something, but I don't think it's mandatory like some of the other units.
Yeah, it's definitely not like really needed. Sometimes like my Reinhardt is like I have a few different base slots. Sometimes I just equip the wrong one and like I don't have any issue because he's still fine even if he doesn't have anything useful there.
Yeah, precisely. He's just so polarizing. B skills are just like not necessary.
I think that's the thing. I think it's a B skill problem. Like that's the thing for a lot of characters. A lot of characters leave me at a dead end. Like, what do I give this? I guess I'll give him Sword
Depends
Breaker.
on the unit. Some units absolutely like rely on their B slots, though.
Well, yeah, that's also true. Like, I'm trying to think of one right now.
Like,
but I'm struggling.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
What is it?
definitely.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but that's because wary fighters shouldn't even exist. I'm gonna say it. It's balanced, but like that's that one skill. Everyone's got something to like. It's balanced, but why does this exist? That's me and wary fighter. Why?
I think it's a fair skill to have on armors.
Oh, it's definitely fair. It's just I get frustrated every time I see it.
Yeah,
That's the one.
I mean, most people probably get frustrated because they want to double and take out the armor units as fast as possible.
Well, it's because you can't attack into her.
Yeah.
Like you attack into her and you get left there. Like
Yeah, that's why she's S. That is exactly why she's S plus.
no, because I play enemy phasers, dude. Like you can't enemy phase her, and you can't initiate her on her either. Well, and I don't play like offensive mage. I have a Julia, but Julia doesn't Oko Effie.
No. The only green mages that can one shot her is it's like a buffed Spring Camilla or buffed Cecilia. None of the infantry green mages can one shot her because she has such a high HP pool.
Jeez.
And you can't
double her. You're forgetting the important part.
Unless you have Lancebreaker on. But then at that point, you just gave up that mage's usability for anything else.
I mean, like, if it's, like, a special map that you just need them to kill that one Effie, then it probably doesn't matter that much, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
In most cases,
Like,
it probably is better to have like desperation or whatever.
Like a good example is like if you go to the highest point of arena in the 740 ranking skills, pretty much almost like every match has about 3/4 of the units are green armors, or in this case, Ike, the new Ike. So it's almost always going to be green. So generally, Axe Breaker is one of the best skills to bring in that level because it's just axes everywhere.
Yeah, I guess it depends, like, on what you need to, like, fight. Like,
exactly.
in what mode and what you're expecting.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. What was the next thing we were going to talk about? The voting gauntlet.
The salt.
That thing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we were talking about all these other modes, like we were talking about Chain Challenge and GHB difficulty. So now we're going to talk about the voting gauntlet. Everyone's mad because Lynn lost to Camilla, but dims the brakes. What do you guys feel about the multiplier
I personally
situation?
didn't care that Lynn lost. Like, I don't have any real ties with any characters, so I generally go round 1 and 2. I generally sandbag and try to get a lot of more cumulative points. And then on the last round, I like to win, so I have like that "you win" message every time I click on the voting gauntlet, right? So that's my usual strategy. But because my boy Hector was in this one, I had to support him from the get-go. But of course, he lost to Ike. So I mean, it was actually pretty close. If it was like 2 hours earlier, he would have won, which is kind of funny. So I guess that's what happened to Lynn, because like these crazy multipliers, just like I actually think it makes it more interesting than when it was first released, and you knew someone's just going to steamroll everybody, right?
Yeah, I agree that it's more
that's the thing I don't understand.
But like the thing,
I definitely think
the thing is that at the moment, the way the system is, it kind of encourages you to not play in order to have a better chance to win. And I don't really like that. I don't think having multipliers and ways to catch up for the losing team is inherently bad, but I feel like the current implementation of it could use an overhaul, because I don't really like that you play so much and you get so many points, and that just adds to your chance of actually losing.
No, you're thinking about it wrong. Like, it's so perfect, because if you want, like, okay, I was on Team Lynn, right? I didn't even want to pick a Lynn, but I kind of had to, so I did. And a choice was given to me. I could score high. I can get high cumulative by just throwing all my flags. But if I do that, and more people like me do that, then we trigger a bonus. Like, now it's, do I want the team to win, or do I want to be selfish? It's the prisoner's gamble. Like,
well, there is that too.
It's fine as it is now.
But the thing is, if you're on a team like Lynn's, who had a huge team, you're never going to get like a high cumulative points.
No, see,
anyway.
the thing, what needs to happen is players need to see this and learn and be like, okay, so I know whenever we get 10% up, they get a bonus, and I know that if they get a bonus, like in the next couple hours, then we lose.
That's where the problem is.
Me and my team. No, that's the team cord. Like, you need to coordinate with your team now.
That's where
everybody needs to get the message.
Where the core problem is. You're just giving the average player way too much credit to think about stuff like that. That's just never going to happen. Never going to happen.
That is not hard. If you care enough to get mad about it, then you should care enough to know that, okay, we should stop playing now because we're going to lose.
I feel like
and everyone on your team needs to get that. I like that.
On your like profile or something,
and that defeats the point of the bonus.
That you could communicate with your team, even if it's just by passively seeing.
No, that's not going to work.
Everyone needs foresight. You need to, if you gave everyone like that, if you gave them a button that says stop playing and everyone just spammed it, then like there's no point in having a bonus, because they're not going to let, like, everyone will just spam that thing all day long, and then they'll never actually trigger the bonus.
It's not even that's inherently a bad idea. It's just that it's never going to work, because out of that group of people, there's still going to be the selfish ones that think, oh, well, everybody stopped playing, I better play now so I can get a little bit ahead in the army ranking. That's going to happen.
That's the game. That's the play. That's the idea. That's why I like the mode. That is the prisoner's gamble. Like, that's it. That's the logical fallacy right there.
I want to add one thing. Actually, two things. One, I've been on Team Ike, so yeah. I understand that Lynn lost, and I know people were salty. I have a feeling that people are going to be even saltier if Ike loses. Now, I know that Japan, in a lot of these gacha games, because this is not my first gacha game, I've played many, has a very large say in most cases. Where they go to Twitter, they go